Hello guys, good evening. Welcome back to this edition. In today's edition, we'll be running Cypress-Axe, which is obviously Cypress accessibility test we've been doing with GitLab, just to see how this accessibility testing would fare on a GitLab pipeline. So let's begin. So the first thing you can see here is that we have before now just written some tests. Here are some of those basic tests we've been written on this series, and you can see kind of this is what we call segment test. Essentially, really, this is like locator based test. So this is locator. I'll just call it locator. This is like safe listening on some tests that you don't want to run. And then this one is all the runs only. This will target specific rules on your test. And then this one is just to the included impacts test. So there's nothing much to this, but what we want to do today is just to go and create a pipeline for this. So to do this quickly, what we need to do, GitLab, is just to make sure you have GitLab account. For me, I'm just going to go and open up a GitLab. So here I've got a GitLab account already. So I'm going to go and set up a GitLab repo so we can move things over here. So what I will do, probably just create from, let's create a blank one here, give it a name. So let's say this is accessibility repo, kind of, just call it any name really you fancy, is fine. So I'm gonna like probably just check this option to enable some SAST, which is obviously this is like static applications soft security testing. This doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to enable it. Now when you do that, what happens is that it creates you a default GitLab YAML pipeline file. I mean, you don't have to do that, but I like to obviously have those scanning tests included in my thing. So I'm just going to create this pipeline. There you go. So it's going to create this file for us. I mean, we can delete this to be honest with you. In fact, let's clone this and just get it deleted. You don't have to have it, so you don't think this is mandatory. But basically, this is just like a simple pipeline. So I'm just going to copy this location, and I'm going to go to a command line. I'm just going to clone this test locally. So if I go here and just do ls-la, you can see that we're inside this test repository. Well, I'm going to come out of it for a minute, just one step, and I'll be out. So here I am out, and this is the test. This one here is the test. So what I would do is just first of all clone the repository, and then I'll move that test within that directory. So here you go, just clone this. You should have had your SSH setup and things within quickly on your thing. So what I'll do is I'll just move, and I'll move this directory. Obviously, for the first of all, I would go and get into that accessibility repository, which is this one. Let's get into this one. Then I will say move, whatever, just get out one step, and I'll move this specific test, all of it, and I'll move it into this directory. So let's see if it's gonna, if it doesn't happen, I'll just move it in a recursive manner. So let's open this repository and have a look what is inside. There you are. So it's it has moved our test that we've been writing before now. So this one is accessibility repo, the parent, and this one, I mean, you can just copy only the files, only these subdirectories and files. But for me, I like to have tests so that other people can co-share this repository with me. But what you can find is just this basic thing here that we talked about. This is auto pipeline, but just to avoid confusion here, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it so we can actually, quite frankly, start on a clean slate. So what do we need to do? First of all, before we start talking about this pipeline, let us prepare this code to be able to go to pipeline. So as you can see before now, we've just been running like a test in a debug mode. So probably let's make this one to be Cypress run. This Cypress run here is quite enough really, but what most people tend to do is to like specify browsers and things like that. So if you really want to like further customize, so you can say browser equals Chrome here, and you can go ahead and say if this test is going to be headed or headless, just specify that here. And then again, ultimately people would like come here and specify their spec. So here is spec, and then here within this spec will be like the place you want to target really. I believe that if you don't really specify that, it will just target your local thing straight away for you, but this is the path to the test you want to run. So this is like for us really is going to be like Cypress directory here, Cypress / so E2E / what else is there. If you really want to just run everything within this E2E test, I think it's safe to just do a star for now, and that we're going to see how this fare when we run the test. And actually you can just test this locally. In fact, let's go and do that just to see that it's going to run the test. So for now, what you can see that here is that we're going to be running the test as oh sorry, this is headless. This is headless. It's going to, the browser will be Chrome, and the spec will be all of these tests here. So this is E to E, but I think I type EZ to Z to E. Update this just slightly. So this is /*. What this means is any directory actually after this E to E, anything else. So you can see there are multiple directories here, and you can kind of see that there are other that contains that contain the test, or houses the test. So this says any directory at all, and then pick the test itself. Some people actually go to the point of saying dots, like on this file, this one actually represent the file. So they do dot CUI, anything that ends with .CUI.ts, but it's not really important. Just do a star, and you should be able to do that. So you can see this is $/*. Double star means any directories and subdirectories after this, because if you look at it, this is E to E. You cannot actually individually begin to specify all of them, like basic, locator, safe list, and violations, and and this test is going to grow anyway. So now we've done this. Now let's go over and just run the test and see how things are going to go. So I'll just do npm run side.run. I'll press and enter. Let's see the test run. There you go. So test is running in a headless mode. This is, think about it as the test is running. It's just a way that we can run the test on a pipeline. Just remember that this test will be passing, but also on a pipeline, just to remember that the test will not, there won't be any, especially on a GitLab pipeline, there won't be any like monitor there. It's just like headless Docker running. That's why we're running this in a headless mode. But if you look at the test, you see that those that we're expecting to pass and to fail, so only 2 out of all of our tests are having their test pass. If you remember because these are all like our accessibility thing. The other thing we can do in preparation to go into pipeline, so we sorted out running this. The next thing we need to do is to like actually just go and configure this cypress.config file, because this is really major in terms of like taking screenshot if the test fails and like doing all this other global configuration. So there are a host of things you can do. These are not mandatory, but some of them are like obviously just to instruct is to take videos. If you want, you can just take video. That's and something you can do. Because it's on a pipeline, you can do video compression. And when you do video compression, it's usually like when you're taking video, it's always good to compress the video so that pipeline, when the test finishes, you can like upload those videos and then compress it as well for you. There are other things you can do. You can just go ahead and like put on so many other features, like probably like let's say request timeout. These are some of the things you can do. Request timeout here. I'll just leave this at 10,000 maybe, and so on and so forth. Let's just show you a few. This is like trash asset. Before test run, you can leave this to true. So before any other test runs, it will just thrash existing assets. One thing I like to always like switch to false is Chrome security, because sometimes it sort of affects the test that is running. And then probably something like modify obstructive code true. So you should be able to modify if you're running some plugins. I think these are just the major ones that I really tend to put my energy and time. So these ones, these are good. This one will take a screenshot, would take the video. If you want a screenshot also, I think there's one for screenshot as well. Screenshot on failure, take it through, because we want to see the screenshot and see how the tests are passing and failing. These are the things that I'd like you to configure really before you begin to actually create this pipeline code. But hey, let's just probably just rerun this test again and see if it's taking some screenshot and all of that. Because you can see the path to the videos. So let's go into the test and check all these videos now. So if we go here, go to Cypress quickly. Actually, I'll just close everything. Go to Cypress, go to, you can see screenshots here, and it's just putting the screenshot in order. This will tell us how things are doing. It's really good to enable the screenshot thing before you actually push your code upstream to the pipeline. So obviously when the pipeline runs, you can collect them. Here is video as well. It's it will pick the video when the test, depending if the test pass or fail. There are things like you can tell Cypress to actually do retries as well. We can probably just quickly do that, but obviously don't want to just say retries here. If you say retries, if test fails, it will retry that. But I've quite found that this is really a good feature to have. So if it's a flaky test, it will just retry that again. This number can be to any length really you want. Right, I think we're done here with Cypress setup. The next thing now for us to do is to begin to write the pipeline. So get inside this .gitlab-yaml.ci.yaml and then begin to do your thing. So here the first thing you do for GitLab pipeline is to do stages. Within these stages, do the things you want to have. For us, maybe you may want to call this as accessibility. Whatever you call this doesn't really matter, really, to be honest with you. But there might be other stages within the pipeline before or after. So let's pretend that we have other stages like build, test, E2E test, and all of that. Whatever you want to call this, please do. But this one is just pretend. So at least you have something else before we get to the main thing. But only what is here is what would be, only what is scripted out here is what would be actually coming out. So let's go and define each of these stages here. So the first, the main stage that I'm interested at the minute is accessibility here. And obviously you can call this whatever you want. So what I want to call this, what I want to call this is I want to have the first stage here, which is called accessibility. Actually, probably let's say we're going to run it on Chrome. And if we're just to run this on Chrome, let's go here and define that. So the first thing here is stage. So if we have the stage, on this stage is the accessibility. Sorry, I want to copy it this way and put it here. And I want to delete this thing that auto-completion is giving me. Right, so the next thing I want to have is I want to have the image that I want to use. This image path, I want to define the local image I want. The best image so far, as at the time of recording, is to use Cypress' own custom-made image from their website, which is Cypress Browser latest. I want to use the latest. You can put it to a specific version. That's your recommended setting in the industry. Now, the next thing that comes is this script. That's the script that helps you to sort of detect or to say how you run these things. I like to indent as well. So the first thing I want to do is not really this npm. I want to, because you can see that my project is within a directory here. This is where my thing, and this is where the pipeline is running. I want to get inside this directory here, which is actually called I want to copy it really, accessibility test. So change directory into that. And the next thing I want to do is to probably just install the npm. So I would say npm install. Sometimes I'm a bit like really go up to the point of saying it should force it really. That force is not necessary. And then the next one is to do npm run Cypress run, which is what is going to be here. So this is side.run, isn't it? Sorry, side::run. Let's just make sure it's fine. So this is side::run. So this is what I will get. So this is in terms of script to run this. So the next thing now is, since we are collecting, locally, when the test pass, we have some artifacts, like just to prove that the test did indeed run, like videos, screenshots, and all these retries. Or maybe like you have some test reports. You can also use something called artifact to like pick them up. So this is artifacts here. Obviously, this artifact is coming. You may or may not want all these features coming from it. So the first feature here is when do you want to collect this? I may want to collect that always, really, at least so you can see when do you want this to expire. Probably you can keep it there for 30 days at least. When you have review with your team, you can just leave it there. And what's the next one? Access level probably to all. I'll just take it out because on track here, obviously these are the two that I really care. The rest, you will just put it to default, really, because you haven't specified. But what is key here is that in this one now, once I have told him what to do, I want to specify the path where I want it to actually go ahead and collect these things. And what is the path? I mean, this string quotation here is not necessary, but the path is usually this path, where it is, where the test will be. So this is the path where I like to save it, and I will say Cypress, and I will say slash videos, sorry, I meant to say. So I'll do it this way, and I'll copy paste this again, and then change this one to screenshot. So this is the path where it would go and keep that for us. So you can see screenshot. So let me copy that. You don't have to keep it on this path, but obviously this is where I like to keep it, so things are like sorted out or separated out, the way I want them. So these are just the major thing, really. And also, because you're collecting artifacts, you may want to collect artifacts when you're running, when you're running things, probably, let's say, on main branch only. So let's say here, here only, where do you want to collect that? So I want to collect that only when it's on main here. So if it's on main, this will work, but I would like to tab it so it can look nicer for me. So this is what you do. Remember that we just like spec out this one. I mean, if you want to have the other one, just to, in case to, just for people that want to know that there might be other things on the pipeline, so you can have something else to represent this build. This is really not what I want to do. So this might be build, let's say build the app itself, and there'll be like loads of other steps before or after, but this is what we're targeting. But for now, let's leave this one as is. I'll just leave this one here, and I'll just get into it and just install. I won't run the code here, but it's the same thing that we're doing here as well anyway. So here we just restore the package and we'll call it run. Also, if you want, you can just take this code here and just move it into this place here and call it something, give it like a fancy name and say this is side.build. That would be good as well, side build. So if you have side build here, and then just do that, and here you will comma. So if you have side.build, essentially this is just going to restore your packages basically. So when you come here, just like you've done for this one, to say npm run, here would be npm, where is that? So this will be npm run, and then you say side build if you want to look classy on your pipeline. So this is just the two things here we want to do. Just this is really a placeholder. I mean, this stage here really. This you might just want to run this everywhere else, on any other branch. So this is us now done. Obviously, again, we're on a main branch, I think, but this is everything else that we need to do here. That's it, done. Let's go and push this code up and see how things are doing. So we go to the console here and just say, just before we go, quickly let's run this test again. So just go here and run. And sorry, actually let's see what the Git is doing. Yeah, I remember what I'm missing out. We are missing out Git ignore. Please always specify your Git ignore, because it's a best practice. It shows people that you're really serious. So how do you do that? Just right click here and just create dot git ignore and remove every sensitive things and all the bloated ways and things like that. So here, once the git ignore comes, you can see that there are 6,000 plus of files. You cannot afford to check this in. So the first thing here you cannot afford to check in is this node underscore module. Please do not check it in. So what would I do here? I would sometimes here you'll find something that will say added to like that git ignore, but for me I'll just simply come here and just say star star. I will say node underscore modules like that. So once you've done that, you can see that this will switch off and the file reduces to 32. And so this is completely out completely. Everything else that is here would go. Other thing I would suggest that you do is just take out the videos, because you're not checking in like screenshots and videos. Please don't check them in. It doesn't make sense really to me. So say screenshots. Again, what else should I take out? So the star takes out like anything else, any directory until you find the directory you've mentioned. Here I'll take out the videos, not videos, sorry, videos. So this will take out video. Video is switched off. It's no longer, so files are coming down. Anything screenshot is switched off. What else? Download, anything download as well. So just copy paste this and just type downloads, right? And anything download is gone. Anything in this directory, we want to check it in. Anything in pictures, we want to check it in. Anything, what else? Config, this goes in. This one goes in if you want. Some people like take that out. It goes in if you want to do something like npm install npm CI just to restore your package from this. So but for now, just let it in. This should go in. This one should go in. This is the main thing here. And then the pipeline code should go in. Also, you should write your readme file. They should also go in. I think so. For now, we should be fine. You can review that here. Obviously, for me, I'm a CLI guy, so I'll just do here git status, and I'll do git add all of it really at this minute. So if I do git status, it will show me those things. So these two are fine. This is fine. As I said, these are all tests up until here. This one is just the fixture file command. This okay. I'm happy with everything that is here. So what I'll do is I'll do git commit, minus and I'll give it a commit message name. So this is initial commit of Cypress accessibility. I can't spell accessibility test for GitLab pipeline. Press enter. There you go. So everything is fine. So I'll just do git push origin main. That's where we are. So if you see here, you see that we're on main branch. So I'll just say origin main here, and I'll press enter here. It should actually push this up, and hopefully things should begin to run. So let's go. You can see that accessibility report was created. We cancel that out, and then we go to, so if I zoom this out a little bit, oh sorry, that's going to way too much. So expand this and I'll zoom this out. Right, so if I go to I'm going to go to here to build, and I'm going to go to pipeline to see if the code is here. Code is here. I think we made a syntax error here. Okay, so we've got a failure here. Let's find out. It might be something like a typo really. So let's go. We're going to go into this accessibility one and see. Okay, so nice. This is saying, hey, Cypress browser. So this is a typo as I was expecting. So let's go back and fix this quickly. So I'm going to go here and say this. Actually, the image is called browsers. Also, remember to update this one because we're using the same package. And we're going to like push this up again. So we do git add, and then git commit, and then git push origin master. So in real world, you can actually just make typo errors as well. So let's check if everything is happy now. If it's not happy, we continue to fix it. It's not a big deal. So let's go back and let's see. There you go. Things are running. So I'm not interested in this build one. And as you can see, They are both running in parallel. We can talk about that later, but here we're just running accessibility tests. Let's see what would happen. This would take a while, and we'll see the result. Okay, so you can see the test is actually nearing end, and it has ended, and test failed as we expected. Once your test fails, your pipeline would also fail. But you can see it says 6 out of 8 tests failed. This was exactly what it was locally when we ran the test. If you remember, it was 6 out of 8 because of the accessibility issues that we were finding. So here is this one pass, but now they're here now in the pipeline. These are the videos that are, recorded and compressed that will now get uploaded. This is the one that passed, how it looks. And there's much more details on this pipeline. It looks so, as you can see, it first started off changing into the directory, running this build just to restore the package. And you can see here 172 packages restored. And the total thing took about 2 minutes, 30 seconds really. And here the real test started. And here, obviously, as we said, if a test fails, take an attempt. That's what it was taking time. It will retry. I mean, that's counter the flaky test. And then the last bit here, as you saw, is the uploading of 29 files that we said it should collect. So let's go and see those files as well. So here, once the test finishes, I'll just reload this just to make sure that the files should be there. I'll just browse through, go to accessibility. This is the path that we specified that you should upload. So here is the screenshot. Here are all the screenshots that it has really taken. So there you go. If you click on any of this, you see these are the tests and the issues that it was having. You can see 4 out of 0 and all that. So this will have all your screenshot that you've asked him to like collect. So if you go back one step and you can go to each of these are all failure. That's for read only one. If you go to we say collect screenshot actually on failure, not really all the time. So if we go here and just double check what we said, it says screenshot on failure. That's so it will collect only those ones that failed. So that's it really. And then the next thing we need to really worry ourselves about is that now that the test has passed. So let's quickly see one more thing here about pipeline again. So let's go back to pipeline. So it will be second one. Here you can see the one is we say npm install. It will just install whatever it needs to install. It said there's no file to upload because I think we left that part that says to upload the file. Let's see. Yeah, it's here. There's nothing to upload really. I think npm install, there's nothing to upload really. So let's not have all these things here. Directory that we were collecting things, be specific on your directory that you want to collect things. So this one is videos. If you really want here, there's a spelling mistake here, just say videos and it will just get it. So let's do the third one quickly before we disappear. So you can, if for those that really want to, and also if we're really doing that one, let's also reduce this retry attempt, because the retry attempt, let's just make it to 1 only. 1 is fine. So here let's add the file 1 and then let's commit and then let's push this up and then see this rerun and we can collect. So this is actually how you can set up a very simple pipeline, but that is sophisticated. 2 changes we made on the push. On the third push is it should stop collecting artifacts for the build step. Actually, one more fix that we can make, I mean, you can continue to refine this, but one more thing we can make is not make this to be in parallel. So this is saying accessibility here. So we can call this to be build, and this is build. So the build comes before accessibility, and in that context, build will go first before anything else. So let's go and then let's commit and then let's push this up. So there will be 2 pipelines running. So let's have a look. Easy. Let's go. And then we're gonna go back to pipeline. There'll be 2 running, both will still fail. So there you go. So this one is having 2 side by side. They will run, but now we've made them to be in in a single instance, one after the other, but in sequence, and then this one is in parallel. I mean, it depends on your need really, but here we're just waiting for accessibility to come and go. Right, just round it up now. Let's go. So this one's finished. As you can see, the two same goes here now that they are running in sequence. So let's go to the last one. Really, the first one here would have stopped collecting the packages. You can see it's quite clean, isn't it? This is nice. And then the last one here, it would have this has stopped uploading those artifacts. We saw then the last one here, it is going to show us the video that is being uploaded, isn't it? So this everything here is same. And then let's browse, and now we will see the video. So here we go, Cypress. So we go to this one, see videos, and then here are videos. Now for the failed ones, here are videos. I mean, you can download the video and have a look. Thank you very much. Thank you.